All right, so we're back again. It's the very first time that you're going to see a part 2 with a guest. Got HC Barber next to me. Guys, remember, we can see you watching, but we need you to like and subscribe. Part 2, let's go. So how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing really good. You got your microphone voice on already,
yeah? Man, yeah. You know, we're going to come correct, you know. We'll come
I love that. One of the things is I'm glad that you're wearing your branding today, man. It's a massive thing.
Yes,
Yo,
yes.
show the people, man.
I forgot it last time.
Is it the back that you got the...
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on. Jeez. Come on, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Varsity jacket.
Listen, hey, you ain't going to see this anywhere else.
You get me?
Listen, this is a real...
Oof.
Oh, and the energy.
Oof.
Hey.
Oof.
High definition Barber 2.0 because the 1.0 couldn't make it, but the 2.0 is here standing for life. Jeez. So, bro, the reason why I wanted you back on here is I want to go in, like, I want those people to really be, you know, at every step of your journey now. Yeah,
man.
So,
Feel the pain.
Feel the pain, bro, but not just the pain, bro. It's about the success as well that you've had. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been trimming with you. We spoke about this in the week. I've been trimming with you for like over 2 years now.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean?
Been a while. Yeah,
and I've only seen you win.
Yeah.
I know it's not always been like that.
Yeah, it's not. It's been a hell of a ride, man. And there's still a long way to go. I'm a firm believer that nobody knows it all.
Yeah.
And there's always something to learn every single day of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's still a long way to go. I've overcome lots of hurdles, fell at some, but I'm still here trying, man. So
then that's the main thing, bro. Like, but what I really want to dive into is like, what was the starting point? Well, like, what was that turning point for you where you said, "I'm gonna be a barber"? Like, what, and then also I want to know what was your next step
in terms of
how do you action this? Because a lot of people have a thought path, but they don't know how to action it.
Yeah. Well, I've got to accredit a lot of this to my little brother's dad.
Yeah.
His name's Oscar. A lot of people, especially the elders, will know him as Magoo.
Yeah, I love that.
But he had a shop on Broad Street. Probably every shop on that side of Broad Street he's been in.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? He's been in every shop
and
had it as his barber shop. I started out when he was at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I remember his first shop.
All the way through?
All the way through. I remember when he first got there, it wasn't his shop. He was working under somebody else.
Oh, mad.
Yeah. And it was him, Solomon. Some people might know Solomon. And another guy called Wayne. I think he was either from Nottingham or he moved to Nottingham.
Okay.
But I haven't seen him since then. Yeah. And that was, I must have been probably just before senior school or just starting senior school. That's
wow.
So I ain't seen him again since.
So really, it's a few years ago then.
A good few years ago. Yeah. You're talking like over 30 years now since I ain't seen Wayne.
Yeah.
But Oscar's the one, he's the main catalyst.
Yeah.
Of my career and quite a few barbers' career in Wolverhampton. I always say as well, if you're a barber and you're from Wolves and you don't know Oscar, you need to leave.
Not welcoming.
You're not who you say you are. Then
the OG.
You know what I mean? Like you have to know. You got to learn your history.
100%.
And a lot of us are where we are because people like Oscar open the doors and says, "This is how you do it." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's massive. That is so he opened that door for you, and then what happened next?
Well, so when he opened the door for us, what he done?
Yeah.
He basically put the clippers in my hand and says, "This is how you're gonna make money."
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're at that age, it's an option.
Yeah.
So you've got a few things that you might want to be. You might want to be a footballer, doctor, lawyer, whatever, barber, X, Y, Z. It just so happens that it just turned out to be a barber for me. But he put the clippers in my hand. He says, "This is how you're gonna make money."
Mad.
And when you finish school, come to the barber shop and watch people like Marky. Who else was there during those times? Justin, I was going to say Bandit, but not Bandit. It was Babat. No, it was Bandit, not Babat. I don't know if he ever worked with Babat, but Bandit was there for a period of time. And I was just growing up watching them. When I left school, I'd catch a bus, go straight to town, sit down in the barbershop.
Was any of your peers doing the same thing, or was you the only one at that point that you can remember? Because it's very easy for you to see someone else doing it and then to be around that person to which you was in the opportunity of.
I don't think there was, I don't remember anybody else having an advantage.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
yeah.
it was an advantage,
Yeah.
like that in their lives.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends, they just didn't have that.
Yeah.
Whereas I was one of the lucky ones
Yeah.
that there was somebody in or around the house
looking
that
out.
had something and could teach other people
really
to
good.
do something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of my friends didn't have that, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't really remember anybody else having something like that instilled in their life coming up.
So you had that support around you from the get go. You put the
Yeah.
clippers in your hand, like so. What I'm trying to search here is, I need to know, and what I want to get the people to know is, did you always see this vision?
Not really, you know. It wasn't just barbering. As you know, I moonlight as a DJ, or I did a lot more a few years ago. But I always wanted to do something in music.
Yeah.
And when I say something, I wanted to do it all. If I'm honest, I wanted to DJ. I wanted to be an artist myself.
Yeah,
I wanted to manage.
Yeah.
I wanted to do everything. I even wanted to be on top of the pops.
Yeah. Mad.
You get me? I wanted to do it all, man.
Yeah.
But I did a lot.
Yeah.
I did quite a bit. But barbering was always there as well.
Yeah.
I'd started both about the same time.
Okay.
So it was just part and parcel of the game.
Yeah.
Like today, in the day, you're doing barbering, and at night you're gonna DJ.
Yeah.
It was one of them ones.
Yeah.
It was just inevitable.
I hear that. So, you've gone through the phase of working under the leadership or with the pioneers of Wolverhampton in the barbering world.
Some of the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point did you click in your head that it was possible for you to do the same, to get your shop, to work as hard as they were, and to be in the position you're at now? Like what point did that?
The last barber shop I worked at before I had mine was Yankees.
Okay.
In Heathtown.
Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows. So when I got there, can't remember the year. I think it was 2003. No, just before 2003.
Yeah.
And I think I was there for about 3 years.
Okay.
But I'll be honest, and I don't know if Yankee remembers, but I said when I got there and we spoke and we went through the peripherals and all this.
Yeah.
I knew when my last day was going to be.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him, the next barbershop I work in is going to be my own. I said that to him. And then lo and behold, a few years down the line, I left Yankees, put it on the back burner for a little bit. I had my jobs at Sports Direct next. And then the year came when I said, yo, this is it now. I have to leave next and just do this. I'm going to pursue this. And that was it, man. When I got there, I haven't looked back.
It's amazing because when you deep it, Yankees Barber has probably heard that saying so many times.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean? And this is the beauty about a vision, but the action that follows the vision. Many people have a vision, but they haven't got that control and that backbone to fulfill the actions required for that vision. And I relate this back into what I do in fitness. Many people will come to me, or I'll see online, they're moaning about, oh my God, I'm overweight. Oh my God, I'm not happy in where I am right now. And I will say, well done on creating the vision and seeing the struggle and seeing your unhappiness. But come to me when you're ready to act on it.
Yes.
Because everything that we talk about requires a level of action.
Mm-hmm.
And your lack of action sometimes is the reason why you're at where you're at.
Exactly. I always say as well, the hardest thing to do, is to start.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you want to do in life, the hardest part is starting.
Yeah.
It's not carrying on. Maintaining is hard, but the hardest part is to actually pull your socks up and say, right, I'm going to get up out of bed today and I'm going to do this. And I don't care what happens, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And you have to have that mindset to be able to go one step forward. You're not going to achieve everything in one night, but you have to start somewhere. And if you don't start, you're always going to be moaning, saying, I'm overweight, or I need to find a new job, or, you know what I mean? I kept looking and looking and looking. And, I always believe as well, everything happens when it's supposed to happen.
It is when it's meant to happen, yeah.
So I could have had my own shop 100%. Years ago.
Yeah.
One of my friends who's not longer with us, God rest his soul, he said to me, I've got some money and I need to clean it.
Yeah, man, I'm being real with it.
I'm gonna be real. He says, I need to clean my money, man. Why don't you open up a shop, man? And he said this while I was cutting his hair. He says, open up a shop, man, and I'll put the money in and then we'll work out. You get me? I says, you know what, bro? I'm gonna pass on that, because we're friends and money makes friends and money breaks friends.
100%.
I don't want your money and then something happens and I'm gonna be like, boy, I don't know how to find that, so rare. I said, nah. But when it happened, that was when it was supposed to happen. And the reason why it happened then as well is because, like I said earlier, I was at Next and Sports Direct.
Yeah.
And then I dropped Sports Direct and I was still at Next and I was really unhappy there. I was there
so just so that I can fully understand where you were at in life, you were barbering.
Mm-hmm.
This point you had your shop, yeah?
No.
Okay, you were
I was doing mobile at that time.
Mobile barbering, you were working at Next, and you were also working at Sports Direct.
Yeah.
So you were running, and you're also a parent.
Yeah.
Bro, let that sink in.
And I was DJing.
And you was DJing.
Yeah.
Bro, let that sink in. Because I don't really think the moments like this, people don't really understand until they go back to that place. And this is what this is about.
Trust me.
Go back to that place. Now that you're way past that, like you don't work at Sports Direct no more.
No.
You don't work you're not doing mobile barbering as your main income anymore. You're not working at Sports Direct. You're not working at Next. You're not DJing right now. Like where you're at now, bro, this is a level of peace that version of you craved for.
Yeah.
And you're now here.
Yeah. I saw a meme before and it said, remember that where you are today is where you wanted to be 5 years ago.
100%.
What you dreamed about 5 years ago.
What you dreamed about.
You get me?
Yeah.
So I give thanks every day, man.
Have to.
It could be better.
Yeah.
But it could be worse.
100%.
But you go through what you go through yesterday
100%,
to get to where you are today.
100%.
You get me?
And it's about being present. One of the biggest struggles that I have had in earlier years of life is I was always like, on to the next. Right now, I'm on to right now. In this present moment, I am giving thanks to God for allowing me to enjoy this moment. And just like yourself, we're self-employed. It's very easy for us to be like, man, I want some more money. How's about thank you for what I already have?
Yes. And what I've already accomplished.
And what you've already given me.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
The attitude towards something.
Trust me.
Everything, bro.
Yeah. For real.
So I needed you today.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to just bring you back to where you've come from.
Yeah.
And even if your shop closes, which we know it ain't going to happen. That may close to open another thing, but they ain't ready for that yet.
Trust me.
But we need to be very present in where you've come from.
Yeah.
And like where you're going,
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
walk me through that process again. Like take me there emotionally. Let me go with you. Like I want to be very present with every part of this journey. You said you left Next now, or you left Sports?
Yeah. So I've left Next. I've said to my ex-wife, yo, I'm trying to leave, but I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And I've got nothing.
Yeah.
So even when I was trying to leave Next, I was looking for another job, not barbering.
Yeah.
I was just looking for another job. Keeping my barbering.
Why is that? Did you not believe in yourself? Or?
I did, but not as a barbershop owner. Not at the time. I know now.
Yeah.
When I think back and I look back now.
Yeah.
All the years before the year I started self-employment, I wasn't ready. That's why it never happened.
What wasn't you ready for?
Taking on the clientele, managing a shop by myself, on my own.
Yeah.
All of it. I just wasn't ready. I was gallivanting. I was up and down the place. I was DJing. I wasn't taking my barbering seriously.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the forefront of who I'm supposed to be. I wasn't ready yet. Because
you wasn't serious about it, that's what made you not ready.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't ready. There's a lot, like I even liken it to driving.
Yeah.
Before I took my first lessons, I thought, driving's easy, man. I can do this. But there's a whole load of things. Like, it's not just sitting in the seat and just drive the wheel. It's about looking left and right. It's about checking the mirrors.
Yeah.
You think you're ready, but you're not.
You're not ready.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the time, you think, I can do this.
Yeah. Put me in the car.
Yeah. But 5 years later, when you think back, you have to be humble and say, yo, what I'm experiencing now, I thought I was ready 5 years ago, but when I look back now, I wasn't. You get me? And I know now that all those years before 2015, December the 21st was the first day I opened.
Wow.
Before then, I thought I was ready, almost. And I realized now that I wasn't ready. That's why it never opened before then.
It's interesting that you speak on that. I trained a bishop from a church in Willenhall, and he was speaking to me about a few things. And one of the things that we spoke about was the behavior habits of somebody who's about to become a minister. And one of the things that he spoke about was when you are a minister, you should already be doing what it requires a minister to stand for.
Yeah.
And I can put this into a work, like as you become a manager, you should already be doing the management role prior to having the title.
Yes.
As you are a barber, you should already be doing
that kind of
stuff.
Yeah.
Before you say, come to my shop.
Yeah.
So because you were distracted, or because you weren't serious, or because you in your sentence said that you weren't ready, you just wasn't doing what the requirements of what you are now, this version of you, was needed then, but it didn't happen.
Exactly. But when you say it like that as well, let's not forget, like when I was working at Yankees as well, there was times like he'd go on holiday, he'd go to America and see his family, whatnot, and I'd have to run the shop for a week. So when I decided, yo, I'm gonna just do this, that's when I knew I've got to do it.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
All right, cool. So I'm a massive believer in what you said. Okay. Now let's play devil's advocate here. Yeah. Let's say I own a shop. Yeah. And I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into that shop. Yeah. And you're working at that shop for me. Yeah. And you know that you're more than capable of running your own shop. I go on holiday for a week. The alarm's going off and the place is on fire. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You've got your baby girl in bed.
Yeah.
How old is she?
At that time.
Right. No.
Okay.
We're doing right now. Yeah.
So my littlest one, she's 2. She's just turned 2 in January.
You get me? That's your pride and joy. You get me? Your girl's next to you there. Okay. Yeah. And my shop, not your shop, my shop is on fire.
Yeah.
Are you going to second guess going to the shop to sort it?
Nah.
Okay.
You've got to get there, man.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
However, let me flip this now, yeah? Your shop is on fire. The same scenario. What are you edging? Are you edging more towards going to my shop while I'm on holiday, or are you edging more towards going on your shop? Or is it even regardless?
I think it would have to be even, because when it's your shop, you know, that's your child,
bro.
You get me? That's your baby.
That's your baby, bro.
It's not just like to you as a customer, or to you as a customer. When you come there, you only come, with all due respect, you only come there for an hour. You know what I mean? And before you walk through the door, you ain't got a care in the world about 39 Berry Street.
Yeah, nothing.
And then the second you walk out the door, you don't care about 39 Berry Street.
Nah.
You get me? But I think about 39 Berry Street. The first second I wake up.
Come on, bro.
The last second before I go to sleep.
On, bro.
You get me? Doesn't mean I'm not thinking about my kids or my missus or.
Come on, bro.
But it's always on your mind. I remember asking a gentleman before. I says he wrote a book about self-employment and business-minded and whatnot. And I says to him, bro, like, I'm self-employed and that, but how do you switch off? Like, you know, when you want to go on holiday for a week or have a couple of days off, how do you switch off? And he said, Clint, I'm sorry to tell you, you can't. You can't. You can try to, but if it's your business, you are always switched on. Always. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You're always switched on. When I buy stuff, when I go to Asda shopping, I'm picking up stuff for the shop. I mean, for the house. But I'm also looking at them cans of pop. And you know what I mean? To put in, like, you know,
all the time, bro.
So I'm always thinking about the shop. Always.
And this is why I asked you, bro, like, so if I have a shop and you work for me, and you have your shop and you work for yourself, and the fire's gone off in my shop, surely The one on your shop is the one you're gonna run to first.
Yeah.
Surely, bro. It's not even close, bro.
It's not close.
Not
it's
even
not
close, bro.
Nah.
And this is what it goes back towards that passion, like fair enough, you worked at all these other barber shops and you've done that, and I know that you're a very humble guy. This is why I'll get it out of you, bro. You get me? Because you won't say it yourself.
You gotta be modest, man.
You gotta be modest with it. But there is just such a pleasure. There has to be a bigger enjoyment and more fulfillment in knowing that the shop that you're in now, that's your baby.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong in there,
it's on me.
It's on you. If something goes right in there,
it's on me.
It's on you.
Yeah.
You're not logging out.
Exactly.
The shutters may shut.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna stop thinking about that.
Exactly. When I'm driving home after work, I'm still thinking about the shop.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about other stuff as well. But I'm still thinking, gotta get up and do this again tomorrow. Or I've sent out my reminders. Or, I'm thinking something to do with the shop. I can't switch off.
Yeah.
It's not easy. What we go through as business owners and barbershop owners, like, you all think it's a game, but it's not. It's not. It's a lot more than just cutting somebody's hair. Yeah. It's a lot more than that. A whole lot more.
It really is. I think it will be a shame to not dive into the relationship between a customer and a barber.
It's a beautiful thing.
Well, what is that like?
I read somewhere just the other day, not long ago, and it said a client is different to a customer, right? So the meaning behind that is like, you're a client.
Yeah.
This gentleman, if you introduce him to me and says, yo, I'm going to send you to a guy to cut your hair, man, because he's the business and rare. I could be cutting him for a couple of months.
And then?
But he's a customer until
Yeah.
he's decided, I'm not going nowhere else for a haircut ever again. You're the guy, and I'm going to have a relationship with you. I'm going to tell you things that I wouldn't tell some other people.
100%.
We're going to have a relationship where I'm going to talk to you about certain things that I'm not comfortable talking to other people about. You know what I mean? We go through things, man, me and my clients. Trust me. I've got a lot of customers, but I've got a very good amount of clientele that I know if I needed anything, I know which client I can call.
Yeah.
If I needed somebody to talk to about a certain thing, I know which one I can call. Yeah. Stuff like that. I've had customers. We've got relationships, man. Like some mad stuff we've been through, man. Trust me. I've had customers save my life. Like call the ambulance for me because I was sick. Miles had to do. I've had it twice. Miles had to do it the other day. My cousin.
Mad.
Yeah, man. Madness, man. I've had customers. I've had clients in my chair crying with problems.
How do you deal with that?
Well, it's difficult because being a barber is more than, like I've said, just cutting hair. A barber is a therapist, a doctor, a surgeon, a fashion expert, political advisor. All these things that are going through your mind. Yeah. I'm gonna know about it because you're gonna feel at ease when you sit in my chair. You get me? And that's our job, to make you feel comfortable and welcomed and want to come back. That's where you build clientele. You get me? That's where you turn a customer into a clientele. But when you've got clientele talking to you about certain things, you as the barber, you've got to remember as well, you come to the shop and you put the key in the door, turn the key, and then you open the door. When you open the door, your problems have to stay at the front door, because now you're going to entertain that client who's got his problems, and your problems have to go on the back burner. You take care of him, listen to his problems, advise him as best as you can. If you haven't got that advice that he needs, probably point him in the right direction. Yeah. Something, again, that I did just the other day. You know what I mean? But when you finish that process and that client's gone, remember, that's one in how many in one day? Yeah. And then I'm open 5 days a week. So you let that sink in. When you go home at the end of that work day and you've heard what I've just heard, and probably it's the first customer of the morning, the first client of the morning, and he's told you what he's just told you. And then you've got to go through the whole day processing what he's just told you. Yeah. And remember the client confidentiality. You can't go home and tell your wife or your girlfriend or your mum or your dad. You can't repeat them things that you've just heard, So dealing with that, it's difficult, man. Because remember as well, like I says, when you open the door, you leave your problems at the front door. When he's gone and you finish your work day, you come out the shop, you lock the doors, and then you pick up your problems again. But remember, you've got his problems.
Yeah, you're
in your pocket.
You're carrying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you go home, and then it's a long drive home because you're still processing your problems
as well as
his. Yeah. And whoever else has given you their problem that day or that week. You go home and sometimes it's a lonely... I remember myself, man, it was a lonely time eating my dinner by myself in the kitchen because my kids, they was younger, they've gone to bed. My ex-wife's upstairs, she's in bed doing her thing. And I'm just there eating my dinner and I'm just like, my problem. I've come back home to my problems. And remember what my man told you earlier. And you can't tell nobody because it's confidential. So it's hard, man, but you have to find the balance. Sometimes I don't think clients and customers realize that we need somebody as well,
Yeah, but surely that's down to you to find that person.
It is down to us. And like I says, when we build a relationship with our clientele, we know who we can call and say, yo, you know what, Sam? Boy... it's problem, man, and rare. And I feel like I can talk to you, especially because you've probably told me something that showed me he's got faith in me. He trusts me. So he knows he can tell me certain things and it's not going to go nowhere. So I'm going to reciprocate that now. Yeah. Now I know I can tell Sam.
See that mindset? Mm-hmm. That's the same mindset that I have. I will give... And you've seen me do it with you. Yeah. I will give you something that if you open your mouth to tell somebody, it could be detrimental. Yeah. And that's enough of a receipt for you to open to me.
Exactly.
And I do this with a lot of people on purpose.
Yeah. I was going to say, you test them, you put the test out there.
Them.
Yeah.
Because this is about, can I trust you? Because I need to help you too. And it's actually a really good way to do. Mm-hmm. Like I see you, as I said, you've just opened up and said that you do the same thing. So I thought I'll just jump in there. But yeah, it's
yeah, man. It's difficult, man. It's rough. I've heard some stories. Yeah, man. But on the hindsight, the barbershop's a beautiful place to be, man. Yeah. Like there's things that we talk about that you can talk about with everyone. You know what I mean? Current affairs, sports, anything. You get rowdy with it sometimes, but it's just the emotions of a man. Yeah. You know what I mean? If I'm emotional about a certain boxer then, and you think that boxer's better than my boxer, I'm like, yo, nah, we're going to go at it now, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But it's a lovely place to be, man. Yeah. It's a lovely place to be. The barbershop is a beautiful place and it's a beautiful atmosphere. And some people I don't think they get it, especially the ones that only have a haircut like once a month.
Weird, bro.
It's
weird.
I can't understand it.
Bro, I don't comprehend it, bro.
It's difficult, man. Like you yourself, you come every week.
I'm like, but to be fair, like, I'm self-employed. I'm the face of my business. Like,
So you have to be sharp.
Have to be sharp. But the only time
you notice how he does all this.
Hey, we've been on this beard, bro. Any tip, let me know. You get me out. Going alright. And the energy and the vibe. But yeah, man. The only time that I can remember, going once a month was when I wasn't paying myself for it myself, or if I was in difficult times, and I can understand that. And we're not speaking to those people. We're speaking more to those that don't like your barber. But it's part of my identity. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you've been barbering now for how long now, bro?
Ooh, I've been doing this now for a good 3 decades, man. About 30 years.
Legendary, bro. Mm. If you wasn't barbering, what would you be doing? You can't say DJing. If you wasn't a barber, knowing what you know now, what would you be doing, or what could you see yourself doing?
I'd probably like to be in retail, and that's actually, when I say retail, not working for the likes of who I've worked for in the past, but having my own shop.
I love that.
But hair and beauty products.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is something that I still want to do. Do you know what I mean? So it's not off the cards. It's just not there at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
But at some point, I'd love to open my own wholesale or warehouse or whatever in hair and beauty, and you know what I mean. I'd love to, man.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I wouldn't have saw that coming, to be fair.
Yeah, man. A fleet of them as well. Like, I ain't stopping at one. No. The world's too big for that, man.
It really is, and that's an amazing thing, really, to understand. For those that are watching that, you know, you're about to inspire, just like how you were inspired when you were at all these other barbershops in your early stages of life.
Yeah.
Like, what advice have you got for them?
For young barbers coming up in the ranks now, be mindful, be humble, and be dedicated, man. Like, know what you want and work hard towards getting that goal. Hitting that target, man. Set yourself targets. Put money back into the industry, back into yourself. Buy yourself stuff. You know what I mean? I remember buying clippers, home kits from Argos.
Mad.
You know what I mean?
Mad.
I remember all of that stuff. I remember how they look. I remember, man.
Mad.
But just always seek advice as well. You're never too big to learn. I keep saying, like, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. You can learn something new every single day. There's always somebody out there that can teach you something that you didn't already know. And the world's too big to have one teacher. If I'm training you, it doesn't mean only listen to me. I'll always advise somebody who's under my wing. Watch them as well. Watch their videos as well. You might see them do something that you haven't seen me do. And you might ask, why don't you do that? Then I can tell you why. You know what I mean? Or, you know, it's just stuff like that, man. But always seek advice, and not just from one party. Go to all different people and, you know what I mean, in the industry, and find out what you can find out, man. There's always something new to learn.
Love that, bro. Thank you very much for jumping back on, man.
Yeah, man.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me back here as well. You get me? HD Barbers 2.0.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Stay tuned, bro.
Mm.